কে উঠায়, কভু নরকে ডুবায়, দণ্ড জনে রাজা যেন নদীতে চুবায়. So, Lord Chaitanya is explaining the position of the conditioned soul. They are completely under the grip of this material nature, and just like one is seated on the car and the driver drives him, if the driver is not under control, he drives him anywhere, to any hell. Similarly, we are sitting on this car of this body, supplied by the material nature, and she is driving anywhere. Sometimes up, sometimes down, and this way we are suffering life after life, birth after birth. This is our condition. We are not independent, completely under the stringent laws of material nature. Danda jani raja jano nadite chuba. The example is very nice, that a culprit is drowned in the water, again taken for some time to take breathing. He was suffocating. The nature, he is not meant to be killed, but he is given suffering that way. So, material nature is giving us sufferings, miseries like that. Bhayam ditiyabhiniveshatasya ishadapi tasya vipajjaya smritihi tanmaya ato buddha abhajetyam bhaktaikaesam gurudevatatma. Therefore, Srimad Bhagavad is giving direction. Then bhayam ditiyabhiniveshatasya. When we are forgetful of Krishna consciousness, when we think that there is no God, this matter is everything. This material manifestation which we see, that is everything, all in all. And there is no Lord, no, supreme controller. When we think like that, that begins, that is the point of our anxiety, beginning of anxiety. Vayam, fearfulness. We are all fearful because as we have got these bodily necessities, we want to eat something, we want to sleep. Similarly, we have fear and we have demand for mating. These four principles are animal life. We are always fearful. And why you are fearful? Because we have taken it that there is no God. There is no God. Therefore you are fearful. Just like a forlorn child, when he thinks that my father or my mother lost, he might have experienced a child lost, he cries. He thinks himself, I am helpless. Where is my mother? Where is mine? Similarly, when we are helpless, we are fearful. And those who are Krishna conscious, they are not helpless. They know above me there is Krishna. And Saranagati, surrender, means to have firm conviction that Krishna will protect me. I am engaged in Krishna's service. So Krishna will give me protection. If I work in some ordinary man's service, he gives me protection. Don't you think if you work for Krishna, he will not give you protection? Because we have no faith. Therefore we are seeking protection from hellfire. Krishna is able, he says, aham tang sarva papi bhama phayashami, I shall give you protection from all sinful behavior. But we have no faith. We are thinking, it is written in the Bhagavad Gita, that's all right. But I must have my protection in a different way. So, Ditya Vinivesha. Because he thinks there is anything superior than Krishna, therefore he is fearful. Why a conditioned soul is fearful, that is explained in the Bhagavatam. Bhayam dityabhiniveshatasya. So, this maya, the illusion, when you take shelter of this illusion, then we are afraid. And when you understand that illusion, this energy, is under the control of Krishna, because illusion, this material energy, is also Krishna's energy, inferior energy. So, even if I am within this material energy, when I am forgetful of Krishna, this material energy is fearful for me. And when I am in Krishna consciousness fully, there is no question of fearfulness from material nature. Therefore, tanmaya abhajatam, therefore it is our duty to regain our lost consciousness, Krishna consciousness. That is the duty of this human form of life. Abhajatyam bhaktaika isham. Simply by devotion. If you want to worship the Supreme Lord, then you have to worship Him simply by service. There is no other process. You cannot worship Krishna by this controlling breathing, or by mental speculation, or by some pious activities, or by charities. You have to worship Him simply by your devotional love. That is the only way. Bhaktaika, only one, bhakti. There is no other means, there is no second means to understand God without the devotional service. Rest assured. The foolish creatures, they take this, that, they do not understand, they come to that impersonal, void, all this nonsensical conclusion, and because they do not take shelter of this devotion, therefore they cannot have any conclusion. It is not possible. Therefore, more or less they become atheists, or after this voidness, or impersonalism, so many things there are. They create. But because Krishna, our Supreme Lord, cannot be understood by any other process. It is simply waste of time. If you want to know Krishna, if you want to know God, then you have to take this process. There is a bhaktaika. Abhajatam bhaktaika Gurudevata. He is the Supreme Lord, He is the super soul, and He is the Supreme Spiritual Master. In this way, He is the Supreme Spiritual Master within you. As soon as we take to devotional service, He will give you dictation, you do this. What dictation? To go to hell? No. Buddhi yogam dadami tam. In the Bhagavad Gita, I give him intelligence. What? What for? Jinamam upajanti te, by which he can come back to me. That buddhi he will help you. If you think something, if you take seriously about your case, if you are fully surrendered, then he will direct you in such a way that you cannot go elsewhere except to him. Him sometimes you may find that he is doing something against my will. I have got my personal experience. I never accepted that I shall become a sannyasi. And I tried my best to keep myself in this material world. And yes, several times he has frustrated me and has brought me by force this life. And now I am happy. I can understand that how much favor has Krishna shown me. Yes. I did not understand in the beginning. So sometimes, if Krishna takes special care for you, he will do in such a way that you will have no other way than to go back. You will take charge. if he sincerely wants Krishna, if he sees that, oh, here is a person, he wants me, but he is a foolish. He wants me, at the same time he wants to enjoy this material world. So crush this, his material propensities, and let him become simply devoted. Yes. Sometimes we see like that. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a question by Sukadeva Goswami, by Maharaj Parikshit. Maharaj Parikshit, because he understood that his grandfathers were put to so many difficulties, although Krishna was their friend, personal friend. So everyone became astonished. How is that? These 5 brothers, the big brothers, Maharaj Yudhishthira, he was the most pious man. Arjuna was the greatest warrior. And Draupadi, their wife, but directly the goddess of fortune. And so much nice, and above all, Krishna is their personal friend. And still they are put into such difficulties. They lost their kingdom, they lost their wife, and they were put in so many, for 13 years they had to undergo so many troubles. So this was astonishing. Even Bhishma, he cried, I cannot understand why these 5 brothers are put into so many difficulties in spite of their all these qualities. So their grandson, Maharaj Parikshit, when he was being taught by Sukadeva Goswami, he had some suspicion about devotion to Krishna. Not suspicion, just to teach us. He inquired that Lord Krishna, he is Vishnu. He is the master of the goddess of fortune. Why people who become Krishna conscious or a devotee of Vishnu, they remain poorer, and others, those who worship Shiva and other demigods, they become very rich. What is the reason? He is the proprietor of everything, so one who wants him, they become poorer. Whereas Lord Shiva, he hasn't got even a house of his own. He's a pauper, and one who worships him, he becomes richer. You know the history of Lord Shiva. He hasn't got a house. He lives under the tree or in some mountain. But one who worships Shiva, they get material opulence very nicely. Therefore, a person have become very easily, and they can smoke ganja. So all this captivates person to become a devotee of Shiva. Or Ginsberg is a devotee of Shiva, perhaps you know. Anyone who wants this material prosperity is naturally to become the devotee of Shiva. So this is contradictory. Shiva has no house even, not even a dwelling place, residence. He is a pauper. And worshipping him, one becomes richer. And Krishna is sahasra sata samramasi bhumanam. Always, thousands of goddess of fortune is serving him. He is such opulent. And so Krishna Bhakta, devotee of Krishna, they appear to be poorer. Why? This question. Just the opposite. So the answer was given by Sukadeva Goswami that this very question was also put to Krishna by your grandfather. So instead of answering myself, I'll put that very question or answer between your grandfather and Krishna. So what is that? Now, similar question was put by your grandfather Maharaj Yudhishthira to Krishna, and Krishna answered like this. What is that? Jasam anagrinnami hariseta dhanam sanai. If I do somebody some special favor, then my first duty is I become him crushed in all material positions. Why? Because to make him more surrendered to me, when he becomes helpless, he has no other way. Krishna, please. When he has something, he thinks, these things will protect my material position. That he does not surrender. Now, Krishna sees that this man, this living entity, is very much devotee, but he wants something, this nonsense, so clashing. So that when he'll feel helpless, he'll come to me. No, so I'll give you all protection. So there is a policy of Krishna. Sometimes he puts us into test whether we are sincerely devotee of Krishna. Because we are always after sense gratification. So if Krishna is not a order supply, then one rejects Krishna. We want God or Krishna to be our order supply. So we must order Krishna. Give me this, give me that. If you cannot give me, then what are Krishna? I don't want. This side of bhakti, a devotional service, is not accepted by Krishna. Just like Mr. Surya, our god brother, German, he told me personally that during war time, many German women, they prayed into the church to get back their husband, son or brother, because all went to war and nobody returned and they became atheists. There is no God. We prayed so much to God to get back my husband, to get back my brother, but the brother was not returned and the husband was not returned. So result was, so if we pray, go to Krishna with that purpose, that he should be our order supplier, then there is no question of Krishna. We must fully surrender. Fully surrender. Let him do. Aslishabha, that is taught by Śrī Caitanya. Aslishabha padanatang pinastamam maramahatang karotuva adarsana. Aslishabha padanatang. Either you embrace me or you trample me down on your feet and neglect me and you make me broken-hearted and not being present before me all the life. Aslishabha padaratang pinastamam maramahatang karotuva. Marmahatang means if you make me broken-hearted. I love you so much. I want you, but you never care for me. That's all right. Still you are my work, unconditionally. I don't want any return from you. Still you are my work. This is pure devotion. Krishna takes all care. Don't think. Because he says personally, Ankal sarvapavi mokkhasan. Why should he be so anxious? But one who is in love with Krishna, he wants to see him, he wants to love him. But even he does not present himself before the lover. The lover says, oh, still you are my lovable object, whatever you can do. You are free to treat me as you like, but you are my one. This is pure. So as soon as we come to this stage, that is perfection. That is perfection. Don't expect anything, return. Now this Goswami, this Sanatana Goswami, there's a nice story about Sanatana Goswami, of whom we are now studying. Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami, two brothers, they went to Vrndavana for devotional service. So their all business was, Rupa Goswami special, he was always engaged in writing books. And when he was hungry, he went to some householder, give me a piece of bread. And everyone at Vrindavan, they were leaders. All the Vrindavan inhabitants, they took, even their household quarrels, they used to represent Swamiji, this is our position, please settle us. So whatever decision he would give to the villagers, they will accept. Their court was Swamiji, Rupa Goswami. So he was so lovable. So one day Rupa Goswami was thinking that if I could get some, commodities for cooking, then I would have invited Sanatana Goswami to take some prasadam. He thought like that. And after, say, 1 hour, one young girl came with sufficient quantity of rice, flour, ghee, and vegetables, so many things. Babaji, they call in India, especially in Vrindavan quarter, they call all these transcendentalists Swami Babaji. Babaji, please accept these commodities. There is some ceremony at our house, so my mother has sent you all these things. Oh, very good. You are thinking that if I could get some commodities, I could prepare something and invite Sanatana Goswami. So the things were there. So Rupa Goswami inquired, where do you live? Oh, you are a very nice girl. Where do you live? Oh, I live in this village. You do not know. No, I have never seen you. All right. Thank you very much. Then she went there and invited Sanatana Goswami and my dear brother, please come and take your prasadam here. I have got some food. All right. So Sanatana Goswami came during prasadam time, and Rupa Goswami has prepared so many nice dishes. They are also expert in cooking. Expert, you know, all devotees, they are expert. That is the qualification. So, then Sanatana Goswami is inquiring, where did you get all these things, so nice things are prepared in this jungle? How did you get? So he narrated the story. Yes, in the morning I thought that if somebody sends me something, so by Krishna's yes, a nice girl, a very beautiful girl, and she brought all these things. Brahman. He began to state about the girl's beauty. Then Sanatana Goswami said, oh, I have never seen such beautiful girl. How? Yes, I have also never seen. Oh, then she must be Radharani. She must be Radharani. You have taken service from Radharani? Oh, you have murdered me. We don't want to take any service from Krishna, and he has taken the opportunity to send us. We want to simply give our service, not any exchange. Oh, you have done a great mistake. Radharani has taken this opportunity. So she began to cry. So we have taken service from Krishna. We are giving her trouble. This is pure. We are very sorry that Krishna was troubled to send me all these goods. So this is the process. Krishna is also finding always opportunity how to serve my pure devotee. And pure devotee is so clever that he won't accept any service from Krishna. Just like the Arjuna. He never said, Krishna, you are God. Why you are putting me to war indirectly? You can give me everything. Krishna said, no. He never said that, Arjuna. Krishna said, niyatam kuru karma, tam karma javaja karma. No, you are Kshatriya, you have to fight. He never said. So we should not take God as order supply. That is not devotion. That is mercantile business. Krishna is not going to be a lover by mercantile mentality. You must give him service. Avalitam. This is the process of devotion. Thank you.